all of those are factors. And I think everybody has some social anxiety. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't have any. I think, and also, David, a lot of what you described reminded me a lot more of what I suffer from, which is generalized anxiety, which is, if I do something, let's say, I'll leave the house, I'll sit there and I'll worry the entire day. Did I lock it? Did I close the garage door? Sometimes I have to drive back 3 times because I keep, panicking about it. Or if I talk to somebody, if I send a text, did this mean this? Did this mean this? And those thoughts are so intrusive, they get really difficult to deal with. And so for me, I have to just take a step back. And a lot of times just, one thing that I definitely do is whenever I'm upset, I always, I have a few people that I'll send a text to, and say, what do you think about this? How could I reword this? So I utilize, my mom all the time. She's,
I love your mom.
She's awesome. And I've been very, very blessed to have, a family structure that was helpful. Not everybody has that. And I don't think I would be alive without that. So, I
hey, get this, Kirk, before we get too far away from it. Ryan Moulton said a report on NPR said a study that confirmed that people who use a lot of emojis have more sex.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you gotta start using more. I guess.
Hey, that's me using more.
They're happy as well.
I just had to throw that in there because. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, it's hard for me to use one.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
So the one thing I do want to say
Karen Badia using a lot of emojis on our post on Facebook Live.
Well, I think
keep up with the emojis, guys. Now we know why.
I do want to kind of just finish off by saying, I think every time we kind of struggle and we are honest with somebody. So let's say you're going out on a date or it's a relationship with a friend or a family member. When you're truly honest and you're open, people see it and they know it. And I think a lot of times with social anxiety, people try to hide the fact that they're anxious, or they try to hide the fact that they have these issues. And the more you try to hide who you are, the more nervous. It hurts.
Yeah, the more nervous you get.
It's painful. And so I just have always done better just being who I was. Now, a lot of that was not totally under my control. And I do take medication for the OCD and generalized anxiety. So, I've cut that back a lot by about 75% or more, at least this year. With the pandemic starting back up, everything just went haywire. So I've had to go back up a little bit.
Yeah. I want to get to that too, coming up, like how the pandemic has triggered even all of this and exacerbated and accelerated it for all of us. And change things for a lot of people too, and how we cope. But it's time for our second break. So when we come back, we'll get to more of that. I want some more Facebook Live comments, and we can get to that. And also callers to call in, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you looking for a great book?
If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hi, and welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're discussing social anxiety, hypersensitivity, and how it really affects people and the challenges people face with it. With me is David Aguilera, Kirk Patrick Miller, and James Prescott. Thank you all for being here. And so right before the break, we were saying about how this pandemic, the COVID virus, and then, of course, everything else on top of everything has affected us. I'm going to start off with the pandemic, though myself personally, I had to stop seeing clients face-to-face in my private practice. Everyone's wearing a mask. We're worried about our loved ones that are high risk at home. I have a child with a heart defect. It was scary. It is scary. And everyone's, quarantined, staying at home, working from home. I have to see clients virtually, as do a lot of doctors and everything, and self-care. And then all of the things that have recently happened, the horrible riots, or the horrible incident that's caused all of these things, where people aren't social distancing and also just not wearing masks and in stores. And I think since it's been going on so long, not everyone's as hypersensitive about it or hypervigilant, which makes me more nervous to leave my house and go out in public and go to the store. Just because I have a mask on doesn't mean everyone else does, or everyone else is practicing safe practices. I'm talking more about the COVID than anything. And it's caused me a little bit of anxiety to be out when I used to only be outside around people, like concerts, parties, anything, extrovert. And now it's changing that a little bit, at least in my head for now. And so I think a lot of people are getting kind of a sense of what it feels like to be socially anxious, because now we're scared of catching some incurable virus, that people are dying. And what do you guys think about that?
It's a terrifying experience.
Mm-hmm. David, how did you feel? David had something happen yesterday that caused a lot of anxiety. You want to share that?
Yeah. So I'm fortunate to be with my family. And so they've been going grocery shopping and doing all this stuff. So I really have not gone anywhere since the pandemic. So, and I am, like I said, I already have social anxiety. So I kind of was happy when they said, oh, you have to stay home because that's like the dream come true because, I don't have to deal with people or go to big events. Anyways, I went to the grocery store with my mom and I started to freak out because half the people were not wearing masks. And I felt angry and I felt upset and I had, like an anxiety attack. And I felt as though, well, the mask is I'm protecting them by wearing the mask. So I'm doing a service to my community. So for them not to wear a mask, I felt as though they were putting me at risk. So, and then people get close to you, because you're in the aisle, it's crowded, people move.
They are.
They're not practicing social distancing. And so you start to feel like claustrophobic. You start to feel trapped, and it's a very frustrating experience because I think for those of us with anxiety, we want to be in control, have some kind of control. And this feels out of my control. And it reminds me of when I was a little kid and I used to have anxiety attacks in the grocery store and people looking at you, and giving you looks and stuff like that. And that's exactly how I felt yesterday because I was visibly upset. But I don't apologize for being angry because we all have to look out for one another. And I don't think it's right or fair for somebody to put my life at risk. Like, I understand that people have their rights, but you don't have a right to get me sick. So, and I don't even see it as a political issue because I try not to talk about politics, but I see it as a health issue. Unfortunately, people have turned it into a political issue. And I live in a city and in part of a city that is very, very conservative. So people don't feel the need to wear a mask. And
I thought you froze for a second.
And I posted on Facebook, and then people try to shut you down, and it just adds to the anxiety. So it was a really rough day yesterday, and I told you, Tiffany, I said I'm really upset, and yeah,
absolutely. You guys, we have a caller. We have a caller, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for calling in. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hi, thank you for having me on. I wanted to go back to something that was said before on social anxiety.
Hey, first-time caller, huh? Thanks so much for calling in. I don't know this voice, so.
I related to what was said. There's times when I think I made a mistake with my friends, and it could be something just totally innocuous and stupid, and I'll be rocking on my bed just in so much pain thinking that I screwed something up when it's just so stupid.
James, you look like you can relate to this. You want to help?
Absolutely. This has happened to me so often, Jennifer. You're definitely not alone in this, where I've had a message or read an email or something, and I've just
please speak up, James.
Sorry. Well, I've had times where I've had messages and emails and read them and began overthinking them or misunderstood them late at night when I'm tired. Especially, it makes it even worse. And yeah, it can be really, really painful and really upsetting, and you feel really alone and you feel really vulnerable because you don't know, especially if it's from somebody that you feel like you trust and you've been vulnerable with, even more so. It can become overwhelming for sure, and yeah, so you're definitely not alone in that, Jennifer. I definitely have experience of that myself. Yeah,
Jennifer, one thing that I did want to say is the last part of your statement. You were pretty hard on yourself, and I think it's really important to remember that you're, first of all, like James was saying, you're not alone. Number one. Number two, it's okay to worry about how you affect other people. That's actually not a bad thing to have. What's hard is that when it starts kind of getting in the way of your just daily life, and it kind of cascades and it becomes something so huge that it can't escape your mind. So once it starts overtaking your life, that's when it's hard. Is there anybody in your family that you can reach out to? Have you looked into breathing techniques, anything, or gone to talk to a mental health counselor? regarding even just, dietary changes. Some people don't want to do medication. There are some things that, possibly can help. There's been a lot of studies with fish oil and